Here we have our Oculus Rift setup. I've got the Oculus where the center of our play space will be. There are our sensors with the extension. So whenever you change your setup, you need to go into Oculus and go to Devices, Configure Rift, Sensor Setup. Okay? And it's going to do a test first. And when it's done, it's going to guide you through the process. Now, the assumption with this process is that your sensors are next to your computer and that you're going to face your computer when you're using the Oculus. What we're going to do is a little different, okay? So first we're going to do the touch controller just like it says. Found the controller, great. Keep squeezing it. Here. Okay, now, Cody's going to do it again. Go ahead. Got to do it that way so we can see.
So you point at the sensors.
So we're pointing at the sensors instead of at the computer. Okay, now it's visible, and it's going to say, okay, stand up and walk to the center of your area. Hold the touch controller down. Center of the area is at the Oculus, like on top of the Oculus. There we go. All right, and great. Squeeze the controller. Keep squeezing the controller, and you can see Cody's doing that way instead of at the computer. Release, and now it's going to do room orientation. Point it straight at the middle. And he's going to point at the middle, and he's going to squeeze it once. Just squeeze it once. And it said, great. And now we can set our boundaries. So boundaries are the area where you're safe to move around. And if you start to go unsafe, it's going to, you got to start over there. And if it's unsafe, it's going to put a net up in your VR. So Cody's going to start walking around the room, and he's holding the trigger down just like it says. You're a little bit out of the play area, Cody. There you go. And he's still walking. He's going to keep going. You got to have your body not in the way. And we've got one little gap somewhere here. Right there. He's got to find it. There we go. Now we have a play area. And we're going to continue. And at this point, it's going to ask you to put on the headset, and it'll guide you through the rest of the way. So the only difference we're doing here, and it's a little bit more difficult just because of the room scale, is that we're pointing at the sensors which are on the other side of the room. But the advantage is, Cody put the VR set on, that when he puts that VR set on, if he's using Virtual Goalie, which he's not right now, but just so you could see, the wire is behind him because he faces the sensors, right? If he was the other way, if the sensors were at the computer, now the wire is kind of in the way. There's something that people call wire awareness, which you get used to, but this is a much easier setup for most people.